Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this World of Warcraft raiding guide. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the 10-man heroic version of the Alysrazor in the Firelands. In order to complete this fight, we use 2 tanks, 2 healers and 6 DPS. This guide will mainly cover the phase 1 ground phase where you have your 2 tanks killing off the voracious hatchlings, and also a little look at the air phase as well, because not much changes in the other 2 phases where you're running around making sure you don't get hit by shit when the firestorm's going on, and also when you're just stacking up behind the boss and nuking her down. Preferably, if you like to see big numbers, it is advised that you take a fire mage for this encounter. 2 fire mages would be amazing, and ideally you want them to be flying so that they get the haste and crit buffs. Just to make a quick note on whoever's flying, obviously fire mages are good. You could also use Death Knights, Frost Death Knights and Shadow Priests. They're also amazing at this due to haste buffs and whatnot. And when you're flying, you'll have 3 clouds to avoid in the heroic mode, so as in normal mode, if you get hit by the clouds, you're going to lose a lot of health and potentially die and fall. So you don't want to die and fall. Falling is bad on this fight.
Okay, so because I was flying for this fight, I'm using a Restoration Druid's point of view from our guild. This was our kill video. We both recorded the same fight, so nothing's really different. As normal, at the start of the encounter, she'll fly through the middle of the arena and deal moderate damage. This is where you want your 2 fires to get 6 feathers in total, 3 each, and go up and start flying through the circles as already discussed. We separated the raid to the right side and the left side, and during this encounter, you will have a new mob spawn called a Herald of the Burning End. They are invulnerable, and they cast an ability called Cataclysm. This is where they spawn a molten meteor, and you want all of your ranged DPS that are on the ground to swap to the meteor and DPS it down. Once it reaches 0 health, it will stop in place, and this will later on be used for line of sighting purposes for one of Alysrazor's new abilities, which is called Firestorm. Just like in the normal mode, you will have the druids spawning at both sides of the room, so make sure their fire blast is interrupted and dodge the bushfire, and you want 2 tanks to go onto each of the voracious hatchlings. It's definitely worth noting that the lava worms do need to be eaten, like none can be left behind, as it will cause a lot of problems if you go into phase 3 or even when you're line of sighting Firestorm. So here you can see Firestorm is being cast in 10 seconds, and we're all going behind the meteor in order to line of sight it. You also want both of your flyers to come down and line of sight it, and it does deal a lot of damage, so it will probably kill you within 2 seconds. Once it's finished being cast, you want both your flyers to grab 1 feather each, go back up and continue what they're doing. The Blazing Talion Initiates will then continue to spawn. More heralds will spawn, and the voracious hatchlings will respawn. That's pretty much the total encounter in a nutshell. There's not really much that differs from the normal mode other than the line of sighting purposes, and a lot more is going on the screen, and there's obviously a lot more damage. It's recommended that you do take 3 DPSs, 2 healers and 6 DPS as suggested, because this means that you will only have to kill off 6 hatchlings in total and dodge 4 firestorms. This obviously means there's less room for error, and will hopefully get you a kill within around 10 minutes instead of dragging the fight on for another 5 minutes. As always, thank you for watching, and if you find this guide helpful, then feel free to subscribe to the channel for future World of Warcraft guides. 4.3 will be on the PTR soon, so I'll be doing previews of the forthcoming Deathwing fight and also the new Void Bank stuff that they've put in. And if you have any comments to make about this guide, then feel free to leave them in the video section comments below. Thank you for watching.